I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on Netflix.
Let's go.
People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good fight. November 14th, Netflix.
The atmosphere inside Dunn's studio was intense. It was the first time Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul faced each other directly, and the tension was impossible to ignore. Pride, ego, and raw heat filled the room between two men who clearly have no respect for each other. This wasn't just another media event, it was a collision of two very different worlds. On one side was Tank Davis, a pound-for-pound killer in the ring, a knockout specialist adored by fans who hang on every punch. On the other side stood Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, a disruptor who's turned the sport upside down and insists he's ready to shock the world once again.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's going to step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight, but at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who's training boxing full time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury, but it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy 1st round knockout for myself.
But the moment their eyes met, it got personal. Tank leaned back, arms crossed, flashing that menacing smile, while Jake leaned forward, almost challenging him to react. The room fell silent for a brief moment before exploding when Jake finally spoke. "You've been fighting guys your size. Now you're in my world."
For all of you Karens who accuse me of being on steroids as the reason for winning all of my fights, we have the strictest drug testing possible for this match. U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. Random drug test at any moment. Oh look, they're here now.
Hey USADA, me in the car. Looking good. See if you're on steroids. Clean as a whistle, contrary to what they say.
To understand why this face-to-face was so intense, you need to go back a bit. This feud didn't just appear out of nowhere. It began earlier this year when Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We're talking about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. Like, he tried to knock him out for sure.
Tank Davis was furious. He didn't take it lightly. In his view, Jake wasn't proving anything by going after a 6-decade boxing legend. Tank called it weak and said Jake was showing disrespect to the sport by targeting Tyson instead of facing a real challenge.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
From that moment, the tension simmered. Jake fired back, claiming Tank was jealous of the attention and that he would knock him out just like everyone else.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
Tank laughed it off at first, but as Jake's name grew, the chatter about a Tank versus Jake fight started shifting from Twitter drama to a real possibility. Now, here they were, meeting face to face for the first time. Jake came in full of confidence. He's bigger than Tank, walking around at cruiserweight and cutting down, still carrying a significant size advantage. He used it, taunting Tank about his height, weight, and reach.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'd be super, super down.
Gervonta,
I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
Jake's plan during this face-to-face was all about intimidation. He wanted to make Tank look small, both physically and mentally, knowing casual fans would eat it up. A big guy versus a smaller one, a reverse David and Goliath. But Tank has spent his entire career as the smaller fighter, and yet he keeps sending opponents crashing. Before we even get to Jake Paul taking on Gervonta Davis, we need to rewind to the Lamont Roach storyline, which adds even more chaos. Remember their first fight? No one expected Roach to trouble Tank, but he did more than that. He humbled him.
Oh, nice double left hook by Roach to the body and then to the head. Right there it is. Oof. And Davis just got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
That's a big moment in
Load with the left. Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with right.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his...
Nice combination from Roach. Oh, another right hand, another right left by Roach. Nice combination. Got just over around 11 as well.
Maybe him getting popped.
Davis fighting on even terms here in the 11th. Both of them have landed.
Has to keep doing that. Roach said the familiarity, knows his weaknesses. It's one thing to say it.
The decision is a majority draw.
Roach entered the ring with a chip on his shoulder, fighting like someone determined not to be ignored. While Tank held the spotlight, Roach was the clear underdog. Yet by the final bell, many fans felt Tank had barely made it through.
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in it. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of a knockdown, I would win the majority decision.
Roach's performance shook the boxing world, and suddenly Tank's reputation for being unstoppable didn't seem so untouchable anymore.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit. When I fought Andre, that shit was burning my eyes, so I cut that shit off.
And it gets even more intriguing. Roach was smart enough to include a rematch clause before their first fight, knowing that if he kept it competitive, fans would want a second showdown.
Already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a fluke.
And sure enough, once the dust settled, everyone was calling for Tank versus Roach 2. Fans wanted answers. Was Tank losing his edge? Had Roach figured him out? For Tank, this wasn't just another fight. It was about redemption.
How many rematches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people get it messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot, and I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Tank needed that rematch to prove the first fight was a fluke, to silence the critics, and to remind everyone why he's one of boxing's most dangerous punchers.
Tank Davis. Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer. George was a puncher. Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in. Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition. He was doing that a lot. And he got to be careful of that. 2 fights ago, he was really doing that. You feel me? So you got to be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
But then everything fell apart. The rematch was canceled, leaving Lamont Roach frustrated, and understandably so. This was supposed to be his chance to show that the first fight wasn't a fluke. Instead, Tank changed course, walking away from unfinished business with Roach and setting his sights on something far more unexpected: Jake Paul.
What? They say he took it easy on me.
Hey, this internet crazy, bro.
What?
Social media crazy.
Let me address some rumors.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
They say he's supposed to fight Jake Paul next, after he was supposed to clean me up. Jake Paul gonna guarantee you about $40 million if the fight is with a notable person, which is Tank. Why would he take it easy on me? Why would he sacrifice that? Especially if he's talking about retiring, and that's his exit plan. If that's the case, why would he do that? That baffles me. Now, as a fighter, let me ask you, would you ever sacrifice what you work so hard for? Your record, your legacy, chance to be one of the, come on. That's, all right, I'm gonna leave it at that.
I ain't gonna do it.
That's what I'm saying.
There might be somebody out there that would.
It sure ain't him.
I ain't the guy.
It sure ain't him.
It didn't look like y'all was playing with each other during that fight, though.
At all.
It looked like you was trying to hurt him, and bro looked like he was trying to hurt you. That's what I seen.
And honestly, this is where fans got puzzled. A fight with Jake Paul might bring big headlines, money, and clicks, but in terms of boxing legacy, it doesn't add up.
Thoughts on Jake versus Tank?
This is just a money grab. Tank is in the news for bashing his missus. He obviously needs the money, and Jake Paul is the money fight in boxing.
How the hell do you go from potentially fighting a heavyweight in Anthony Joshua to now going all the way down and facing Tank Davis? That's a major weight drop. It's an exhibition, so it's not a real fight.
No, so apparently it's going to be a hybrid.
Which just means it's bullshit.
But Netflix are in the entertainment industry. We all paid to see Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson at 60 years old fighting an old man in a walker. Now you're going to see Jake Paul fight Tank Davis. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jake Paul should be the favorite. He's got the weight advantage.
Size advantage.
He's got the size advantage.
Reach.
Say what you want, it's going to be an entertaining fight.
I mean, this is a real boxer. People are asking, fight a real boxer. This is one of the best boxers in the world. But the fact that it's an exhibition, it just takes away from it.
Roach was the one who exposed Tank. The fighter fans believed deserved a rematch. For Tank to skip that and go after Jake Paul instead looks like he's avoiding redemption, which is why Roach is furious. Jake Paul revealed the rules for the fight, and honestly, they sound like something dreamed up in a Discord chat at 3 a.m. First up, the weight. Jake says the fight will be at 195 pounds, 195.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Tank fights at 135, 6 weight classes below Jake. That's like sending a lion to battle a hippo and calling it fair. Tank has never even successfully fought at 140, and now he's taking on someone walking around at heavyweight? Tank Davis isn't the same fighter he once was. He used to carry an aura of fear. Every opponent knew one mistake could end the fight. He was hungry, ruthless, and obsessed with being the best. Now, it feels like he's chasing paychecks more than legacy. The intimidation factor that once followed him everywhere is fading. Instead of facing the toughest opponents, he's choosing fights that make more financial sense than competitive sense, and fans can see it. The killer instinct doesn't look as sharp, and his focus on building a true boxing legacy is being overshadowed by money. The boxing world didn't stay quiet after this fight was announced. Reactions came fast and fiery. Shakur Stevenson was one of the loudest voices, and it's easy to see why. He's been calling out Tank for years, building a rivalry that seemed destined to explode.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
There's definitely a huge size advantage, Shakur admitted, but I think Tank has the skills to come out on top. Has Jake improved? Yeah, he's gotten tremendously better since he started, and in the right situation, I could even see him becoming a world champion. To Shakur, Tank picking Jake Paul over the biggest available fight, Tank versus Shakur, was outright disrespectful to the sport. He didn't hold back, calling it a circus move and proof that Tank would rather chase an easy payday than challenge another elite fighter. Honestly, a Shakur versus Tank matchup would have been one of boxing's biggest fights. Not everyone agreed, though. Rolly Romero, for instance, kept it real, saying, "You can't knock a man for chasing the bag," basically giving Tank a pass for prioritizing money over legacy.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong?
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Teofimo Lopez shared a similar view, congratulating both fighters on setting up such a huge event. From his perspective, boxing is a business. If fans are willing to pay, why not make the fight? Then there are people like Daniel Cormier, who've been more open about Jake Paul's growth as a fighter. Cormier outright backed Jake, pointing out that he's not the amateur clown many make him out to be. He's training seriously, taking tough fights, and has the size and power to trouble Tank. On the other hand, Jeff Mayweather wasn't impressed at all, dismissing the matchup as pointless, saying neither fighter gains anything meaningful for their boxing legacy.
Oh, I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
That sounds like an excuse to me. People, Jake always gets a hard time, for not fighting the best and top guys. And here he is fighting a current world champion, a pound for pound guy, and obviously showing he's taking all comers.
Pound for pound guy. I don't think that neither one of them are gonna prove anything. I think that's gonna be an exhibition. So, and being that it's an exhibition, that means that nothing's gonna happen anyway. It's different if with a fight in which somebody's gonna win. It's different. I mean, it's like it's one of those situations where it just doesn't make sense to anybody that's a real boxing fan. It doesn't make sense at all.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming content. Share your thoughts in the comments, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.